Both these teams have been on quite a journey to be in this space. For one, the sojourn ends tonight. For another, the opportunity to continue their quest for silverware. The support is in the house for a team which barely qualified for the playoffs, and another which pretty much led the league from post to post in the quest of going back-to-back. The defending champions, Mount Pleasant, go up against two-time winners Waterhouse in the second leg semi-final of the Ray Nephew Jamaica Premier League. And on this Mother's Day, we will see the league give birth to the finalists. The fan base of Waterhouse and Mount Pleasant, they can be a little demanding. But for Waterhouse in particular, they would have been mellowed by heartbreak. Since the 2011-2012 season, the team from Drewsland has been runners-up on no less than 5 occasions. And 3 times in the last 5 years have they faced heartbreak in the grand finale. In the 2021 season, Waterhouse did get the better of Mount Pleasant at this semi-final stage. In a truncated season, the aggregate score was 2-1. We're just 1 goal shy from a 2-1 score on aggregate in this semi-final tie once again. But Mount Pleasant in blue, they know what it's like to be champions. Waterhouse, you reckon it's something that they have forgotten. They want to instigate something from the past with fire burning even more. Can they push themselves with passion over the line against a top-class Mount Pleasant team? As I said, they are the champions, and you know what they say about champions, they never die. Wherever you're watching all over the world, thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Home of Champions. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Dwight Jeremiah. He has a few thoughts of his own.
Yeah, certainly. I'm expecting a great football match, because the last time out it was exciting. They couldn't separate themselves. They'll have to do that tonight, and if they can't, well, in regular time they'll be forced to do so from the penalty spot to add to the drama. And I'm pretty sure the neutrals would want that, but either sets of supporters would want to get it done in 90 minutes and would want it to be very, very comfortable when they so do. We look at the officials here, and Adelt Hamilton, who will be in charge, Melvin Reed, Recton Harcher, and Adelt Hamilton, by way, she has issued 4 red cards already this season. No nonsense FIFA referee. The only good thing for these 2 teams is that those 4 red cards were given to Arnett Gardens. 3 against Waterhouse and 1 when they were playing Cavalier. But Waterhouse, they would have seen her 4 times already this season. They would have won 2 of those games, lost 2. Mount Pleasant would have seen her 1 time and would have won that. Will she be, and good omen for either of these 2 teams, anything to help them get to the Promise Stadium would be big.
As we take a look at the starting lineup for Mount Pleasant, and they've made 4 changes to their lineup, including the midfield being totally swapped out. Melvin Doxley, Demario Phillips, Romeo Guthrie in the middle of the park now. In the back line, the 1 change, Ladale Ritchie, who had worn the captain's armband, is out. Jamoy Topi replaces him. McCullough, Shaquille Dyer, Fitzroy Cummings complete the back 4 in front of goalkeeper Shaquan Davis. Daniel Green has been asked to play the point man. Whether it's a false 9, we are yet to decide that. On the left, Devontae Campbell, on the right, Kimoni Bailey.
A 4-2-3-1 formation, and yeah, lots of changes. I think he's gone for a lot more legs in the middle of the park. They were overrun early in that first leg, and Waterhouse had the better of it. He wants legs, he wants more mobility.
As far as Waterhouse is concerned, just the 1 change from the first leg. Andre Fletcher returns. 12 goals to his name so far this season. They welcome him back. Nicole Christian heads to the bench. We'll tell you the starting lineup in full. Foster in goal. Blair, Simpson, Matthews, and Jakeem Brown, who was pretty good in the first leg on the right-hand side of the defence, complete the back 4. Booth, Smith, and Denardo Thomas in the middle of the park. Of course, 17-goal man Javane Bryan is their point person. and Rivaldo Mitchell is going to be holding the fort on the left.
Well, when you get a guy like Fletcher back with 12 goals and you combine him with Brian and you get 29, then the probability of you winning this game is much, much better. So for sure, Fletcher coming back is big for them. And yeah, they're going to have to work hard in the middle, because with those players that have come in from Mount Pleasant and with McCalla coming in there, those central midfielders are going to have a lot to do. Booth would have missed a good chance to put them 2 goals up last time out. He's hoping that Waterhouse does not rue that chance he missed from last week.
Were you surprised by the 4 changes made by Mount Pleasant?
Well, at touch, I reckon Shaw, who is not even in the squad, didn't really work out for them, so I'd expected him out. Not even in the squad still, but he's out of the squad. But yeah, I guess when you look back at how Waterhouse started the last game and how much they were in control for the early 20-25 minutes of that contest, they want more control in the middle of the park. Mount Pleasant, they like control. They didn't have it. And I guess with these players, you look at a Guthrie as the attacking mid. I mean, it's about legs.
Second leg semi-final is on the way here at Sabina Park. There was almost a mix-up at the back there by Mount Pleasant, where a couple of the players were just stationary. And Javane Bryan almost capitalized on the error there at the back. Well, that would have been quite a start.
Quite a start. And one other change that we maybe didn't really lament on it with Topi coming in for the club captain, Richie. So Richie, with lacking pace, but really did a decent job last time out. But towards the latter part of it, maybe with his age, probably couldn't come back to go at it again from the start here. But they don't want to give Brian any sniff at it. We saw turnover last time and he cracked it from about 35 yards out.
He did. You made the point about Richie, which is interesting, but he was just starting his 5th game in the first leg, and I mean 5th game all season, so for him to have to sit out because he's winded, not sure if I buy that. Here's Green striding forward. Defenders around him, goes down too easily, in my opinion, and so to the opinion of Odette Hamilton.
In fact, I think he chose the wrong time to go down. As he was let go, he went down, and he was tugged from behind, but he fell forward.
I'm not sure if that's physics 101.
No, not in the book. Look at it here. Yeah, it's been tugged here, and then long after he was let go. I mean, you could see the tug for sure, but he thought about it, and it went late, the message from the brain to the rest of the body to go down. I think Ferguson there having a word with fourth official Golson, just asking why not, and again fitness trainer, equipment person coming in there to have a word. Sometimes you do that, Donald. You know you're not going to get it changed, but you just want to get into the head. But the head that holds the key out there is in the middle of the park. That's Odette Hamilton, and she's at the top of the tree when it comes on to officials. FIFA official she is. She's a 3rd-year student at GC Foster, majoring in football and minor in volleyball. Should graduate next year.
Marcel Gale, we spoke about the heartbreak of Waterhouse in previous years. He's been at the helm of all of them during the last 5 years, Marcel Gale. And of course, he's also an assistant coach at St. George's College, so, well, we don't need to get into the details, right?
Not at all. And how it unraveled for him last season. Used to being at the pretty much near the top in the regular round. This year it was sort of different, where they flew under the radar and just made the playoffs, and the wind apparently in their sails brushed aside Tivoli Gardens after they were underdogs going into that one. And Mount Pleasant, based on last week, would know not to take anything lightly. There's Waterhouse.
Let's see exactly what happened here. Just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah,
Andre Smith.
Guthrie. And that's what he brings when he comes into it. He's not going to, Shaw would want to glide around and look to make those passes. I mean, Guthrie, he's going to get into those duels, He's not going to back out for a small man.
Both sends it long. You could hear the cry from Shaquan Davis from here. Hurls it out immediately. That's one of his better assets, the throw. Devontae Campbell didn't do a lot with it. Jakeem Brown with the throw, but another Waterhouse player down and needs some attention off the bench. It seems to be Smith again.
Jakeem Brown just waiting. Yeah, Smith didn't fully recover, and immediately they have player getting ready. Elvis Wilson, just in the event that they have to make an early substitution. We'll hope not to be forced into that. The Mount Pleasant fans that journeyed all the way from St. Anne.
Sabina Park is building up nicely.
It certainly is. At this time last week, it was filled up more than it is at the moment. But we know with the advent of Mother's Day, I mean, a lot of the men coming to this game would have had to go out and treat the mothers and the wives as well. Just before heading down, I'm pretty sure they would have had an early start to ensure that at this point, those streets would have concluded.
Brian was trying to win it. A couple of Waterhouse players down. It seems to be a very physical game. Andre Smith appears to be okay. Jakeem Brown may need some attention from off the bench now.
You get the feeling that Waterhouse will get past this hurdle of Mount Pleasant. I mean, no matter who they come up against, you definitely have to see them a part of. I mean, you can't see them as underdogs, because you could rightfully say, yeah, they entered the playoffs just at the last minute. Took the last game win over a 1-0 win over Harbour View to get here, just edging out Montego Bay United on goal difference. But they've certainly been in good form in the playoffs and was just second in the form table coming into it. So they would be serious contenders.
Simpson sends it long inside the area. It's headed away. Mount Pleasant forced to do some early defending here. And they tried to move forward through Kimoni Bailey, swarmed by 4 Waterhouse defenders, manages to get the pass away. He's been really good this season. Bailey has scored some wonder goals for Mount Pleasant, and Mount Pleasant looking to go through the gears here.
Yeah, you're right. Lots of good goals by him. And one of those wonder goals was scored against this Waterhouse team at Jerusalem to break a deadlock. So in the regular season, they met twice, and it was just a goal that separated them over the 180 minutes, and it was a Bailey special.
Nothing separates them here. And Mount Pleasant not afraid to take their time, but they have given it away. He's thinking of a shot, took the effort that I think was drifting wide, but Shaquan Davis, who has given his defenders a stern look for giving it away so cheaply, held on to that shot from Fletcher.
Yeah, he would know so much. The one that passed him and went into the back of the net last week, but also the one that crashed into the frame of the goal. He knows Brian, and Brian was just making a run off and wanted that pass to be made to him, but I think he would have been offside.
Too much on it for Guthrie, who had given up early.
Also, Bradford, we know, who is a player from Waterhouse, has gone to Mount Pleasant. He had started as well last week, did score, but was correctly ruled out for
offside. Yeah. Ramon Howell would have started the game. Another former Waterhouse player is also on the bench as well for Mount Pleasant. So they do have a couple of blackjacks, dare I say, in reserve.
We could work with that.
Not exactly who Topi was looking for on that occasion.
Has that tendency a lot, Topi, always looking to make that final pass. Phillips was not fond of it, nor was Guthrie just now.
McCullough. Not quite accurate with his passing as well.
Yeah, a little bit more direct this time from Mount Pleasant this week. Green here, well, Campbell on this near side here just hang his head because he was in a lot of space. So maybe it's something that they've worked out, trying to just mix up their approach maybe.
Topi striding forward, gives the ball away again. Now they have to defend. Topi slightly out of position as Waterhouse tried to go forward. Lovely touch out wide. But the recovery over on the far side, Cummings there doing well.
Yeah, good body check there from Cummings within the laws of the game.
I think Cummings was the one who was making the run forward earlier. I think I said Topi.
Yeah, it was Topi who gave it away.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Topi who gave it away. We did see Cummings last week going well forward as well. So they do take turns. McCullough is the constant one that gets into the middle of the park and add numbers in there.
This is Devontae Campbell. What a terror he was in the first leg.
He was, but I must dare say that Shaheed Brown dealt with him and Green fairly well.
He's out of position now. Guthrie cutting inside. We know he can't shoot from distance. And I think he was trying the dink there inside the area.
Probably initially thought of the shot, but then saw the run of Green and went for the dink, but was halfway there. Didn't execute well.
Cummings. And now Kimoni Bailey looking to take it to a next level here, deciding to play it back. Phillips known for his roaming role. McCullough.
Didn't start last week, but he's asked to come in here to finish the job.
Campbell goes long. Guthrie making the run early on this occasion. Back to Devontae Campbell. Oh, that's a beautiful knock into space. Phillips is there, pulls it across. The header away, not too convincingly. Here's McCullough. Yeah, he'd want to keep that in his back pocket still. Sule McCullough.
Showed a lot more accuracy with the head than the feet.
Many times savior for Mount Pleasant this season.
With the head, yes. More often than not, but yeah. You won't rule him out having a say in this tie again. But that's what we saw. We saw from Phillips and Guthrie that rotation and a lot, as I said, the legs. That's what they would have opted for when they made those changes. I would have been expecting from the middle of the park, this Mount Pleasant team. A lot of mobility, rotation, running from in to out. Third man running, as we saw Phillips just now. And Waterhouse, they just did not follow the runners. Difficult at times.
Both teams not taking care of the ball well. A lot of turnovers so far in this game.
Sometimes that's what pressure does. It's a lot. Last week you knew you had a second chance. This week you know.
Well, here's Donata Thomas attacking the space, directing traffic. Didn't quite go where he wanted it. The traffic, I mean. Sends it out to the left. Here's the ball inside. The touch from Javane Bryan wasn't the best. He wanted to catch it in his stride and possibly let fly on the second touch.
That was a great run from him as well, to be able to get from the blind side of the defenders, to get around in front of Dyer there. It just surprised him. Dyer was quite happy to see that run off to Davis. But yeah, Waterhouse just reminding Mount Pleasant of their threat. They don't have to stay in the game, and that's what contrasting style does. It doesn't really faze them with Mount Pleasant having a lot of the ball, because when they do get it, they have that focal point. Unlike Mount Pleasant with a Green, who is more of a false nine, they do have a proper nine, Waterhouse, and a focal point.
Kimoni Bailey looking for options. Phillips lets it slip. Fletcher on it. Bryan with the run. Jaheim, or rather Donata Thomas, has it. Back inside. Fletcher Thought he had more time. He didn't. Thomas. Keeps his footing, but couldn't supply the pass. And Jaheim Brown mopping up, putting that one into touch before Devontae Campbell could break away.
I was tempted to say that the lines for Mount Pleasant defensively isn't narrow enough, but there wasn't much of lines. It was just a line which everybody got too deep, not protecting on top of it. And you have those midfielders, yes, they'll give you the rotation. I'm pretty sure they're banking on them getting back in time to create that shield in front of that back line. There weren't lines. There was just one line. It was just too deep. And just on top of that 18-yard box, just as Mount Pleasant tend to retreat, Waterhouse, they find a lot of space there. And if they just are patient enough, pass that run enough, then I think then Mount Pleasant and Davis in goal will have to do a lot. This is certainly not the Waterhouse team we saw on the last day of the regular round.
Demario Phillips behind this free kick, looking to be the perfect provider here. 6 players from Mount Pleasant lined up and making a run inside the box, and the header is straight in the arms of one Kemar Foster, and he has no issues, and he immediately goes long. he was in a couple of minds there, but Mount Pleasant steady at the back. Phillips looking to free himself from Andre Smith, eventually did so. Again, they give up possession cheaply. Mitchell plays it inside to Javon Brown!
That's a big save. That's a big, big save from Davis. Did one last week, had to be bailed out. This time, he did it completely. But you would have bet on Brian getting his 18th of the season. He was going for placement, not power. That afforded Davis the opportunity to get down, as you see here, Donald. A turnover from Mount Pleasant. And yeah, you would have expected him to score. But good save.
That's a proper save, you know. That's full stretch.
Big, big save.
That is full stretch by Shaquan Davis. Really pulling off the spectacular to deny Javane Bryan. He had acres of space to work with. Blair's delivery inside. Davis calls for it, grabs it, needs an outlet, trying to find one in Green. Green has it. Now Green is looking for help. The dink over the top. Bailey was trying to get there. Foster was there first.
Lovely thought from Green, but just not executed well.
Neither was the throw. And Guthrie ran into traffic.
And look who's back defending. Bryan.
Lovely stuff. Fletcher.
I tell you what, the next one Bryan gets, I don't see him placing it. I think he thumps it.
Bryan trying to beat Dyer and couldn't. The game opening up just a little bit more now with Daniel Green cutting inside, finding Devontae Campbell. Campbell pulls it across. It's cleared out by the Waterhouse defense. It's gone up a gear here at Sabina Park.
For a moment there, I felt he could have gone for goal, just looking for the support rather than threatening goal. Just here, lovely overlapping run on the outside, well onside. Could he have just driven that one with the left foot at the near post? They say goalkeeper aren't to be beaten there, but with pace, power,
and precision.
I've seen them, yeah, and precision. The 3 Ps, they get beaten for sure at that post.
It was a slow burn in the first 10-12 minutes.
Right,
but I think we've caught something here. A few dry sticks have touched.
Good place to not drop anything. You got to catch it here.
Demario Phillips on it. That's a good ball inside, and Kemar Foster had to be on his A game to collect. And he expected Usain Bolt at the top of his front line there. And I would think not even Usain Bolt would have got to the end of that, and he knew it.
Really lovely watch at the moment, and both these two teams for the last 5 minutes tactically, well, they threw out the tactics book and was just going at each other. For the neutral and ourselves here, it's pretty much how we'd like it to continue. Coaches, I am sure, from both teams wouldn't be so comfortable with such an open contest.
Devontae Campbell now. Phillips. Safety first. Topi. Bailey accepts. And was trying to play it into the space for Guthrie to make a run. He didn't get there.
I think what Waterhouse is doing very well is to just make sure the middle is a bit crowded, and as I say that, McCullough finds a lot of space, but quickly closed down. But the wide players in the front three, they do tuck inside. Mitchell on the left and Fletcher on the right.
Campbell trying to get there, but Jakeem Brown right on top puts it into touch. And it's a corner kick to Mount Pleasant. Phillips has gone across to take it. Referee Odette Hamilton not quite ready. Daniel Green trying his best to be a nuisance to Foster and company. One of 5 players inside the box for Mount Pleasant. Another player, of course, in there is one, Sule McCullough. Phillips delivers. Lovely, almost lovely. Again, McCullough, who was under pressure. He was looking for a call there, didn't go in his favor.
I guess he's wondering how that one didn't nestle in the back of the net. Seems to have taken a deflection because, yes, it's a corner kick. Maybe not have time to see the replay because another one's coming up. But always a danger inside there. We have a look here. Well done, producer. And yeah, this one might just clear it up. Yeah, just maybe he had missed it in the end.
No, he made connection. I think it last
Just
came off Brian. I think he would have come off Javane Bryan in the end. And
but not enough contact for his liking there. But you know the good thing about McCullough, Waterhouse knows the threat he carries on these set pieces. They want to take care of him, but he has such a leap on him, a power in those legs that gets him higher than the rest. He towers over everyone else.
by the way, Foster is the one who's getting some attention, the Waterhouse custodian. I think just to get a little bit of a breather for his team.
You get the feeling, yeah. I certainly think so. There we see Mark Golden, opposition leader, but also we know he's CEO or chairman of
Arne Gardens. Of course, Arne Gardens play a little bit later on against Cavalier in the other second leg semi-final.
Pretty confident fan.
Former Jamaica cricketer Wayne Lewis is also in the house.
Is it that it's a new cup, or it looks like it's a refill being required?
Yeah, it is a refill that needs some attention.
Yeah, the stands really filling up nicely. Courtney Walsh end is leading to Michael Olin end, but wouldn't be surprised to see it get a lot noisier later on.
Waterhouse would know that they need to be vigilant here as they try to defend this corner kick. We're past the midway mark of this first half. And it's going to be Bailey to deliver this one for Mount Pleasant. Lovely ball inside, the whistle goes. There was some argy-bargy in there that went against the attacking team.
Just had a shot of Hamilton sneak into the players, but it's good that since the stage where the team walked out and we mentioned the official, we're just mentioning her again, which means she's having a good game.
He wins most headers, doesn't he, Sule McCullough? Not the best clearance. Devontae Campbell utilizing his skill, trying to go wide. Last is coming off Campbell. Good defending there in the end. McCullough has it. Dyer.
Really doing well in the middle.
Yeah, I think so too. And Waterhouse looking to go through the gears here. There was a late leg on Cummings. Almost felt as if the game has gone through a bit of a reset because of the interruptions here. Don't think Bailey will be able to get there, although he's proving to be a handful. Foster just sending that one into touch. Mount Pleasant will try again here.
Yeah, definitely there's a drop in the tempo.
Let's see what happens here with Phillips and Kimoni Bailey. Ball touched inside, but she was trying to find Green. Comes out as far as McCullough. McCullough! Well, it was a driving attempt, wasn't it? That sailed over the crossbar. The space had opened up for him, and his eyes lit up.
Yeah, it certainly did. But he was never walking into that shot. He was just leaning back a touch. Always going to go up, as you see here. Just needed to walk it into that one.
McCullough's taken 3 of the 4 shots by Mount Pleasant in this game.
Just speak to how dangerous he is as a player, arriving late. He's a master of arriving late. He's playing left back always, and you're not going to ask your team to pick up a player that deep. And by the time he arrives, then he's a surprise. And not only that, having a lot of space. Mother in the house here, hoping for a special Mother's Day gift from son. Barn temporarily off the park, but certainly with 18 goals, you wouldn't bet against him going 19 or more today.
The lady. Mount Pleasant will again start from the back. Davis waited until the very last second to make the pass. Bailey was trying to get Phillips involved. Brian did well. Now it's out wide to Denada Thomas. Thomas couldn't trick McCullough into going the wrong way. Nevada Blair. Cummings with the hard step. Taking out Rivaldo Mitchell in the process and earning a yellow card.
Not quite sure. Well, not quite sure. Maybe the area of the park where it was, but it's not like Mitchell had control of it. We'll get a chance here to see. Yeah, probably went through him. In the end, didn't get any of the ball.
So Cummins goes into referee Odette Hamilton's book here.
Booked in the first. I felt, and when I spoke to some referees after, he was really unfortunate. He was the one that was fouled when he got the yellow card as well. Was stepped on, and the referee gave him that yellow card. I'm not quite sure of the situation here where you appeal cards, as long as it's not going to rule him out.
Free kick to Waterhouse. There's the ball inside that's headed away by Cummings.
Yeah.
Corner kick to Waterhouse. Remind you to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store. We have one more week of Premier League football in Jamaica to look forward to. Bailey. Green does well to hold it up. Has a couple of runners, but Green does also well. Lovely ball too. Guthrie. Getting some assistance from Kimoni Bailey. Ambitious effort to try it from long range. Manages to win it. Gets Phillips involved. And Demario Phillips with the ball inside, headed away. Here comes Waterhouse. Javane Bryan. Bryan trying to find Mitchell, who had lost a step or two in the process and fell to the turf. Bailey trying to shake off Nevada Blair, but couldn't quite supply the ball forward. Green on the turn, does well to put the pressure on. Foster came out. Odette Hamilton has a decision to make here.
Mind you, she was far away, but there wasn't a lot of traffic in front of her. The assistant referee on the far side is Archer. Would have been the one to help her out here if there was needs to. Yeah, I think in the end, let's have a look here.
He didn't touch the ball.
No, but did he touch Green?
If he touched Green?
From that angle, I didn't see that just now.
Let's just say Green is a result of collateral damage.
But it wouldn't be referee Hamilton. You felt it would have been the assistant on the far side to make that call. She was far behind.
Let's see from a different angle here. Green didn't touch it. I'm not sure if there's a lot in there. I'm not sure there's a lot in there, to be fair.
That's my initial thought.
If Green had touched it,
yeah,
it would have been a more complicated story.
Yeah. I don't think the contact was enough. That's why I said I didn't even realize if he had touched Green. I think in the end, my initial... Someone present, they will certainly talk about that one if they were not to get the win here.
Well, here's Guthrie looking for the run of Demario Phillips, who does well to get there, takes the shot. It wasn't a million miles away, you know.
Well, that's what I talk about when I was mentioning that Campbell should have gone for it and hit the upright and went out. Campbell's angle with his earlier chance was less acute than that. Yeah.
Foster would say that he had it covered.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Donald.
But I am sure it scared the living daylights out of him when he came back off the post.
When he heard the sound first.
Yes.
Definitely. That's why they say the frame is the goalkeeper's best friend. Frame of the goal, that is.
It did hit the outer part of the post.
Still would have frightened him.
Yeah. Campbell, who's now over on that right-hand side, hasn't been as involved in this second leg as he was in the first. Devontae Campbell. Well, now he's involved.
Sure, not the way he wanted to. Bailey now just trying his luck from this side.
Janae is somewhere inside an almost packed Sabina Park. Take it away, Janae.
Almost packed is right, Donald. I'm here with the kids and some grown adults, but first we're going to talk to the kids. How are you feeling tonight at the Jamaica Premier League semi-final leg 2?
I feel good.
You feel good? Which team is supporting?
Mount Pleasant.
And do you play for Mount Pleasant? Do you have any relationship to Mount Pleasant?
No.
So who are you supporting?
By
Grave?
Yes, the bench.
So you think you'll get the opportunity to play in this match tonight?
Yes. No.
No, you don't think you're going to get a chance? But you think Mount Pleasant is going to be victorious, right?
Yes.
Do you want to play for Mount Pleasant one day?
Yes.
Okay, well, Mount Pleasant, have a look out for him. And over here, I have Roshane. Roshane, enjoying yourself over here by the Ray and Nephew Bar. Talk to me about the experience so far. You are supporting Mount Pleasant. How are you feeling?
Right now, our biggest team in our league, I'm feeling great, you know.
So what if it's a case that after the outcome of this match, Mount Pleasant doesn't reach the finals?
No, that now go up. My straight winnings, I did, man. Mount Pleasant, Mount Pleasant, number 10 on the field, I star. Can't lose to the straight winnings, I hear that. Champion again. No.
Well, this is where all of the Mount Pleasant fans are. They are in the stands. They're having a great time. But Donald and Dwight, let's see if Mount Pleasant can. They have a goal in their foot. Back to the match.
Well, their supporters are usually quite animated, to say the least, and did say before that they are usually quite demanding as well of the team. Yes. They did go to a final last year and they came out on top, and they want a chance of silverware, and they want another trophy.
And based on what the players they have, you wouldn't fault the fans for wanting that.
You give them an inch, they take a mile, and you can't blame them. They are fans. Back to the action here on Waterhouse. Oh, he's offside by several meters. The discipline of the Mount Pleasant backline, though, to not panic in that situation as well as stepping up.
And the 2 bearing down on goal, amounting to 29. Pretty sure they're quite happy to see that flag go up. Mount Pleasant. Davis would lead the cheer.
Again, they give up possession cheaply. I get the impression that maybe a mistake will cost one of these teams in this semi-final second leg.
Shaping up that way for sure.
Trying to play the ball through. think the flag probably would have gone up if...
Brian had gotten to me with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really Topi a lot of times. I think he's guilty of the turnover a few times.
Davis with the booming kick. It's headed into touch.
Yeah, Matthews had to get something on it. Green has been a good target for Mount Pleasant. They've pinged it from back to front to him a couple of times, and he's certainly made it stick.
McCullough. Topi. That's a delightful ball, and the finish is sublime from the youngster, Devontae Campbell. That's his third goal this season. And I believe it was Topi who we said was inaccurate with the passing before, with a sublime ball to Devontae Campbell, who struck gold inside the box, and the champions are ahead over Waterhouse.
But it goes to show that it's not just curse as commentators. We did call and point him out, Topi, but what a pass here, and he's definitely onside, and a finish to match. And Devontae Campbell, with all the big names that they've brought into Mount Pleasant, he's their brightest star, from academy kid to leading the line here for the senior team. Devontae Campbell shining brightly. He changed from the near side to the far side, seeking greater fortune, and definitely found it. And Mount Pleasant, they lead this contest by 1-0 aggregate, 2-1. And may I dare say, Waterhouse, from losing positions this season, they've only amassed 2 points. Still within their grasp, you think. But Mount Pleasant has taken the first step forward.
Well, Topi had to get one right, and he did. And it was the perfect one to get right.
And that's where you take the risk. In the final third, if it's turned over, there's a lot to go. And he did went for it. And that's the sign of a strong player, because despite turning it over a lot, he went for it.
Waterhouse looking for the equalizer. Brown will settle for the throw. McCullough alert. Smith. Well, ambitious Andre Smith.
It's just the pressure of going one behind. The more I replay that goal in my head, and he, who is a goal scorer himself, a midfielder, but did do a lot in terms of scoring goal, 2 at the World Cup level. That, the more you think about the finish from Campbell, it's a really textbook finish. At that angle, there's one place you want him to try and hit it, across the goalkeeper to the far side, hit the side netting into the bottom corner. That was a real top-class finish.
So thought, so done by the 20-year-old. The champions in charge here. We mentioned in the 2021 semis that Waterhouse went through 2-1 on aggregate. Mount Pleasant with that scoreline in their favor on aggregate. Doxley scoots it out wide. Cummings will have a second chance here. Decides to bring Shaquan Davis in the equation. Not too far away from the halftime interval here. What a time it was to score, though.
Definitely. And it's Mount Pleasant at this time. They'll just want to get into the half with the lead.
Doxley switching the play. Campbell does well, you know.
Very well.
That's wonderfully done.
Well, So we thought.
Yeah, they went out to play. All right.
But the effort, we have to say, yeah,
Yes,
that was tough.
A for effort, definitely. We're hearing that there's going to be, what, 4 minutes of stoppages to be played here?
Quite so. I think there was quite a few
Yeah.
times where some players went down. Most of the Waterhouse players.
Which is ironic because they would want more time, and they have received more time.
Yes, yes.
There's the confirmation of the 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated minimum 4 minutes
Topi goes down.
added to the first half.
Maybe just a feeling arm from Brian when he went up for the other. I mean, he can't be complaining. I mean, well, we'll have to have a look and see it was deliberate, but Brian had to challenge for it. It wasn't Topi's ball to start with. I mean, it would have been at the initial stage when Brian was setting himself to jump. So Topi did execute the header and then went down after. I don't think there was much in it.
Topi wasn't having it though.
No.
He was not entertained at all. It has slipped through, but Jaheim Brown is back there and harassed and robbed by Campbell, and it's now with Kimoni Bailey at point blank range. Foster makes the save. Devontae Campbell has been a nuisance again for the Waterhouse back line. Or was it? Oh, it was Green actually. It was Daniel Green who had.
No, I think Green had passed it to Bailey inside when he robbed it here. Yeah, Green passed it to Bailey.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely it was Bailey on the end of it and should have made that count. Was falling away in the end. Was quickly closed down. The defenders were just running at him, but still you would expect him to either side of Foster, and Mount Pleasant lead this contest by 2-0.
Yeah, Devontae Campbell is still stationed over on the right hand side. Here's Phillips.
But that's a big save, and that save could just be something that Waterhouse will remember at the end of this one.
Bailey trying to move away from a couple of defenders here and gets his team a throw.
Maybe he only scores a spectacular Bailey.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy.
Too straightforward, maybe. Decibels have gone up.
Mount Pleasant applying the pressure. Guthrie sends it out wide. Topi, oh, that's a 6, surely. Yep.
Would have got the girls dancing if it was those T20 festival, but we have a few here that they are still dancing. But you knew he was going to go for the shot. You could see him setting himself up way before that one came to him. You would have seen that many times over on the big screens. Sure, he would have practiced it a lot on the training ground.
If he had practiced what we just saw, they would have sent him to go fetch.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. When you do that in training, nobody going for the ball. You have to go get it yourself. That was for sure. And the coaches are going to ensure that that is the case.
Well, we know that happens at the schoolboy football level. I'm not sure.
But maybe at some of the clubs here, at the Premier League level,
Maybe.
not every club has the luxury, as I'm Mount Pleasant with lots of
to get retrievers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Waterhouse, I think they're probably now dying for the break to just recalibrate and come out stronger, and that break is now upon us. That's the halftime interval. The champions are ahead on the day and on aggregate. Devontae Campbell, the 20-year-old, getting his 3rd goal of the season, the difference maker in this second leg. Topi didn't have the best of afternoons up until the point he made the pass to Campbell, and Campbell with a sublime finish. And after 45 minutes, the champions, with the aim of going to another Jamaica Premier League final, are ahead. Welcome back to Savannah Park. We're standing by for the start of the second half here. In Mount Pleasant, they have the advantage on the day as well as on the tie. 1-0 on the day, 2-1 on aggregate. And there they are, the champions, aiming to be champions again. But they have to reach the final first, which is going to be held at the National Stadium next Sunday. Waterhouse, they are behind, but they think that they can get back in the tie. They're just a goal behind. They have the ammunition on the field of play and on the bench. Foster has been busy for Waterhouse. In fact, the Waterhouse players are just emerging from the dressing room. The fans are enjoying themselves. Kemar Foster and Shaquan Davis, the two leading goalkeepers. If Shaquan Davis manages to keep a clean sheet, that will be 10 clean sheets for the season. And it was a magnificent save that he made in the first half here. Foster has done well in keeping Waterhouse on the tie. Daniel Green setting up Kimoni Bailey. Foster just had to react to it. It was struck with power, but straight at him. He also has 9 clean sheets. I think 4 of those clean sheets have come in his last 6 games. Dwight Jeremiah, still with me. How are you reading the second half?
Well, pretty much it's if you want to go layman, I mean, Waterhouse, they just have to go for it. I don't think they can be open because of the threat that Mount Pleasant poses. Because Mount Pleasant coming into this game has shown that they are not going to just be patient in the build-up. They will go direct. So Waterhouse will have to be mindful in terms of finding the right balance in terms of the players they commit forward. They have done fairly well in terms of smothering Mount Pleasant in the middle of the park. Their wide players have been tucking in, but I think they will want more. And because of that, we see Christian looking to come into the game now as
Andre Smith is going to be replaced here.
Yeah. So they will want some control, and he will also be the one who can see a pass, but not only see it, be able to make it. So he's that quality, that type of quality, and as such they want that. They want to be able to find Brian and Fletcher with regularity, and Christian, he brings that to the table. So that's an indication of what Marcel Gale is thinking, that he needs to create more chances. In the stats column, we did see, Donald, that it was only 3 shots and 1 on target. They want to create some better chances in the second half.
Outcome number 12 of James Smith. He's replaced by number 23.
So how will the storyline go for this second half? So many questions to be answered in the next 45 minutes at least. Here we go. Waterhouse kicking towards the crossroads area. Mount Pleasant towards downtown Kingston, and Waterhouse looking to get one early. trying to thread a pass through, unable to make it successful. Phillips, well, he sends that one high and long, and Green was was fouled. And a call that was pretty straightforward. I'm not sure why there is surprise on the face of young Matthews, but alas, free kick.
You know, a lot of times too, you say teams, one goal, you hear the fan says one goal cannot beat their team. Well, for Waterhouse, well, they have lost by 1-0 5 times this season, and by a single goal margin 6 times. So confidence may not be at its highest, but they're playing well.
Ball sent inside the area, and oh, wow, Nevada Blair had a moment of madness there that Foster wasn't really ready for, and to be fair,
probably left him with
neither Kimoni Bailey.
Yeah, just looking to just calmly chest that down to the goalkeeper, but he was under pressure too from Bailey behind. He knew Bailey was there because there was an arm on him, just didn't get enough purchase on it for it to get back to Foster. It was a difficult one for Bailey too because it didn't come down enough.
Yeah, he's just checking to see if he can still smell Kamar Foster.
And they're happy. And that one didn't nestle in the back of the net.
Fletcher inside. Mitchell trying to get a foot in. Bailey. Now Green. McCullough was trying to find Phillips. McCullough was anticipating someone hogging the line. Not quite the case. Bailey has been quite a blockade down this right hand side at the start of the half. Phillips, and Foster will collect. Decides to go long immediately. Poor Shaquem Brown didn't really have a chance, did he? Campbell just seeing that one into touch. Foul again on Daniel Green. He's been holding up the play quite well.
Like I told you, you know, they have a proper number 9 Waterhouse in Varn. Daniel Green, you'd probably, as you mentioned at the beginning of our broadcast, that it's probably more like a false 9. But he certainly has been a target player and has held it up really well, afforded Mount Pleasant to play direct at times. And that's really good from Green today. Waterhouse have not found a way to deal with him effectively yet. They won't want to go further behind.
Well, they have to defend this free kick. Phillips looking to deliver inside. Ooh, that didn't miss by much.
Was it Cummins at the back post there?
Topi was there. Cummings was also there, I think. But that didn't touch anyone.
Wide in the end. Waterhouse will have to do what they have not done this season, which is to win from a losing position. Points gained from losing position has been two drawn games they've had when they've gone behind. And here they are again. Let's see, if you want to win it all, you have to beat the best. If you're going to get to the final, Waterhouse, you're going to have to do what you haven't done before this season.
Well, the odds were against them, weren't they? Because they were the 6th team in the playoffs. And to face the number 1 seed after getting through the quarterfinal round was always going to be difficult for the team from Drewsland, but they have been in fine form.
Yeah, you felt they missed the trick when they... It's not done and dusted, but we're just saying as it stands now. The more it stays, the longer it stays this way, Waterhouse, they'll remember that missed chance from Booth in that first leg that would have given them the win.
Yeah, they will go through the missed chances with a fine-tooth comb here as Thomas with a mazy run. Ooh!
That was vital from Dyer.
Pass almost turned out to be majestic there from Thomas.
I think, Donald, that's another problem for Waterhouse. We haven't called Another Thomas's name often enough for Waterhouse. He was quite lively in the first leg. That's a good weaving run here. I felt Topi sold himself short because you could have seen from a mile that he was never going to get there. Still came out.
That was a vital touch from Dyer, you know.
Really, because I felt Topi didn't really help him.
And did Topi overextend himself there?
In trying to get there. Yeah, he was nowhere getting there, and you could have seen it based on the run from Thomas. Once he came out, he left that space in behind. Dyer had to do that work in terms of marking and both man and space, and got a toe to it and deflected that pass. Doxley asking if he feels like he needs to be substituted. Richie has been warming up since the start of the second half along with his other teammates, Bradford, James, Bygrave, Howell, full cast.
Where will their salvation come from? Waterhouse looking for a source. Davis sends it out long, and Bailey is going to get there. Keeps it in play. Kimoni Bailey. That's lovely. Guthrie. Phillips. Cummings. Oh, that was a delicate touch. And they're not afraid to recycle it. Devontae Campbell, the goal scorer, on it. High on confidence. Back to McCullough. Threading it through. And too much on it in the end for Campbell. The distribution, though, by Shaquan Davis at the very start of the play.
Really good. And it's, when you have willing runners like you have in Bailey and Campbell, you can do that. His execution was really good. That's what you want. He would have practiced that many times. You could see the body shape. He got that one really flat and got enough purchase on it. Bailey, a willing runner, and did well to keep it in. And in the end, the chance didn't materialize as it should. But always, it's good. I think Mount Pleasant, they've really changed their approach for this one. A lot more direct at times. I don't think Waterhouse was quite ready for it that way. But you knew when they once they made the changes to the middle of the park, where it was more runners than really ball handlers, rotations and all of that, they could go direct, win that second ball, and they had workers in the middle of the park that would be able to try and regain possession if they don't win that first or second ball when they go direct.
Thomas on it. Javane Bryan out wide. Bryan's ball is overcooked. Phillips. Lovely takedown by Daniel Green. And Campbell. Campbell gets by Brown. Campbell inside the box. Devontae Campbell! The academy graduate is a superstar in the Jamaica Premier League for Mount Pleasant. His second of the night. And Devontae Campbell has turned the tie in favor of the champions. Weaving his magic at Savannah Park, and Mount Pleasant 2-0 up, 3-1 on aggregate.
The boy has become a man. The academy graduate has become a man. He has risen to the top of the pile. And as we said before, with all the star-studded name that has come into this club, it is the boy that has come through the ranks that is leading them to the promised land tonight. We just spoke about having willing runners, and a ball from Phillips when he got to Green, and Green said, go ahead, Campbell, go on your amazingly run. Got by Shaheem Brown with ease and knocked that one in at the near post. Foster would be disappointed, not just with Shaheem, but with himself, to allow that one to squeeze in at the near post. Gave him the eyes to go across goal, just left enough at that near post. He corrected what he should have done in that first half when he got that gap. This time, no mistake, he went for the near post. Precision more than power. And just like that, Mount Pleasant leads the contest. 2-0.
One of their youngest stars, one of their brightest. Devontae Campbell in the 41st minute, in the 56th minute. This is the champions' game to lose.
Certainly, and I can tell you this, where they are concerned, they don't lose many from here.
Wilson has come on for Chris Matthews. Ramon Howell is also on the park. He comes on for Jamoy Topi. We're on the way again.
Before this, they have scored 2 or more goals 11 times this season. And I can tell you what, 10 of those times, pretty much they've gone on to take it.
Campbell. Oh, they're getting stylish now. They are. So Doxley, as I suspected, has gone back into a back four for Mount Pleasant, with Howell coming on. And, Campbell requires some attention from off the bench.
He would have done his work. 50 or 60 minutes gone in it, and he would have really done his work tonight. Waterhouse before tonight would have conceded.
Substitutions.
more than one goal 3 times this season. They've lost 2 of those games and won 1 of them.
A reminder to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store, so you can keep in touch with all the happenings on the home of champions. There is a lot of proof that we will keep you entertained in the sporting arena. It's a proven fact.
It is. I'm pretty sure he would have used that a lot when he was on the sideline as well, just to double check to make sure the calls from the referee was right.
Tafara Bygrave is getting ready to come on for Mount Pleasant, as Waterhouse, well, they tried to reply. Christian. We haven't said his name a lot since he's been on the park in the second half.
Yeah, it's been unpleasant, just bypassing the middle.
Mitchell keeping possession well. Oh, that's a lovely ball through, almost working to get Fletcher involved.
I think that's an important thing here for Waterhouse. If they can respond at this time, give them a lot of hope. The longer it goes on at 2-0, then the more the hope for the win will go out their sails.
So Bygrave is now on the park, replacing the goal scorer, Devontae Campbell. Two goals to his name so far this season for Mount Pleasant's number 50. I suspect Green will be down on the wing now for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, they've put in a proper number 9 here. Green, he really did well as the false 9. Really played like a proper number 9 as well.
Yeah, I thought so too, actually. Nothing false about the 9 he played.
No.
McCullough.
For once on this big stage, he has played second fiddle to the youngster in Campbell McCullough. But he has had a good game as well. Brian didn't like what Dyer left on him.
The game was physical before now. Just a little bit feisty. Christian. Now the yellow card is going to be shown to Dyer. Whoa. He's going to be off. Yeah. That is madness from Dyer. That is absolute madness from Shaquille Dyer.
Well, I did talk before at the beginning of the game that Odette Hamilton had issued 4 red cards already this season, among the referees that have given the most cards this season. All 4 had come against or had given to Arnett Gardens. I said these 2 teams were safe. Dyer crazy in the challenge on Brian, and if that was crazy enough, well, it certainly wasn't enough for him. We didn't see it with that replay. We would have to take it back a little bit, producers, to see why the red card came. Because while Odette Hamilton was showing him the yellow, the way he reacted, he did, whether intentionally or not, hit the referee, and he can have no quarrels about this red card. And is that the way, is that the door through which Waterhouse can re-enter this contest? They were shut out by the second goal from Campbell. That could just be the door they can re-enter. Just working out how they will set their team up. That's just madness. He did moments before that I mentioned, left a hard challenge on Brian, even though the ball had come off the park. Let's see it here. Yeah, too close to the referee. And like I said before, this is her 5th red card issuing this season. Now she leads the pile with referees and red card.
Well, if Mount Pleasant go through, he misses the final, obviously.
Yeah, that's it. So Dyer giving his marching orders. Just got a bit too close to the referee and trying to gesticulate and give his thing. Whitmore by no means bemused by it.
You could hear the reaction from the crowd when he moved towards the referee.
Like an exhaling. It was so low, like it just, they knew what was coming next. She had no option. She's been having a good game. We hadn't called her name a lot, and we've called it for the right reason. And when she gave the 3 yellow cards to Arlette Gardens against Waterhouse, they were deserved. Here again, deserved. So this is the 5th time Waterhouse coming a game with Odette Hamilton. Like I said, they've won 2, lost 2, but they've seen 4 red cards go against their opponents.
Free kick to Waterhouse. They have the man advantage here. Christian behind it, looking to be provider. Ball played inside, cleared out by McCullough. Bailey further away. Blair trying to retrieve. Christian involved again. Thomas.
There can be no question now. Bygrave is going to have to do a lot of work up front on his own. It's just a clearance for McCullough to have his team reset and just settle into the new shape that their team want. Club captain is going to make his way on. They need all the experienced head they can get, as Ladale Ritchie is at the sideline.
I think Nathaniel James from Trinidad and Tobago is getting ready to come on as well.
Yeah, I think what they're looking at is to ensure that they remain a threat. At the same time, it's not just sitting deep. They want Waterhouse to think about throwing that extra number forward, because they'll have something going the other way. So, good coaching here, good tactics being employed. Bygrave for sure is a target that can hold the ball up. There we see the substitution coming. Ritchie is coming in for their number 17, which is
Romeo Guthrie.
And then we'll have James, who will enter the fray for their number 12, Kimoni Bailey.
Yeah, pretty much a like-for-like change in that regard on the wing. With Bailey coming off, replaced by James. There he is. From Locketta, the 19-year-old. And the Queen's Royal College as well, Nathaniel James.
And when he was brought onto the park in the first leg, he really had some measly runs. Was a threat all the time. Was a real cameo.
Christian. Oh, that's a delightful ball out wide to Brown. Brown's ball inside, not a bad one. The header could have been better, should have been better. Not a lot of power behind it.
But there's still a lot of time in this one, and Waterhouse just need to be smart about how they go at it here. Some 20 minutes left in this one. First time to be added.
Mount Pleasant doing well to win it. Green. Waterhouse will be looking at the situation and realize that they still have some time, but they have to be careful here, especially at the back. They give up possession. Demario Phillips scoots it along to Green, who gets it back. Daniel Green. The shot was charged down. Yep, it is Mother's Day, and quite a few mothers out in their numbers here at Sabina Park.
It's part of the treat for them, and certainly this game has been a treat.
A lot of time remaining. There's the ball inside. Header away. Good win by McCullough. Has Green for company. Green.
Too early to be in the corner, but every second matters here. But Waterhouse, they must continue to believe. This man had as Jaheim Brown had a really good first leg, but was undone by
Green on the line, and then it crept out.
Yeah, undone by Campbell, especially on that second goal was Jaheim Brown. You won't want to look at that one again.
That's a lovely challenge by Bygrave. He gets it back before he lost it. Good work by Booth. And now Christian. Throw into Waterhouse. They are trying to move quickly here. Christian trying to play it through the lines. Mitchell, poor ball, and Mitchell was, he was fouled.
Seems to have been a definite ploy too from Mount Pleasant, especially in the second half, to be physical with Brian, and that just went over the top. But not just Brian, but Nate there from Doxley.
Free kick to Waterhouse. What can they do with this opportunity here? It is Christian. Wilson. Keith Simpson for Waterhouse. Again, they go for the long ball, which hasn't been altogether successful this evening.
No, I think Mount Pleasant have been more effective with their direct play.
Can't afford to be one-dimensional at this stage.
No, and they did come into this one and look to go direct more than we'd come accustomed to them throughout the season. Despite not getting on the score sheet, this man McCullough has been immense for them again, leading them before Richie had taken the field. A did say before, you know, something would have to happen outside of the norm for Waterhouse to really get to the finals. They'd have to do what they've never done this season, which is to win a game having gone behind. And Mount Pleasant, they haven't lost when they've scored 2 goals or more.
Well, here's Green trying to make his way through.
But you would have seen what Devontae Campbell did on that side, looking to replicate. As I said, they've won all the games that they've scored 2 or more goals in, and they're heading in that direction again, Mount Pleasant.
Well, we know that it's not a foregone conclusion when you're playing against 10 players for you to go to a next gear and start to dominate, but there's a lethargy in the display of Waterhouse that I really can't comprehend.
Yeah, and I think what Mount Pleasant have done well.
Well, here's Nathaniel James, sends it out wide. Picked up by Daniel Green. Green lost it, trying to win it back, but doing so illegally. James picks it up. James from distance, ambitious. Foster was behind it.
But Foster was retreating quite quickly when he saw James, you know, just how his body shaped up. He knew his intention was going to go for goal from distance. But what Mount Pleasant has done well is that...
Well, Thomas sends it out wide. Jakeem Brown on it. Back to Thomas. Christian involved. Brown collects. Brown with the ball inside. The header from Donata Thomas. Lacking pace or direction.
So as I was saying with Mount Pleasant, they'll leave one up top when they're defending just to make sure that they have an outlet. But in their attacking phase, they do have 2 at the top. It's almost like a 4-3-2. And so they do get the shape right. And the adjustment in the formation for the 10 men has been quite good. And then bringing on the likes of James, and Green is always a threat. Bygrave will get back to help out with the others.
Nevada Blair for Waterhouse. Brian couldn't get by Richie. Now this is Nicoy Christian. Christian with the ball inside, and Phillips flung himself at it. Didn't get a touch on it.
Probably good that he didn't.
That was my thought.
Maybe he confused himself as to where he was, being the attacking player he is. In the 18-yard box, might have seen the lines and got his bearings wrong.
A goal now for Waterhouse would make it interesting.
Yeah. Really would make it interesting. I say a 2-goal lead in football, a dangerous one, because you get into the false sense of security and the opponent knows he just needs one to get into it. But Mount Pleasant, they have been dealing with it well. You can see the lines of 2 lines of 4, so it's a 4-4-1 in their defensive shape, and they try to make it narrow as well.
James booted long. Wilson has it for Waterhouse, and now Christian. Waterhouse will try again. Donata Thomas has been dangerous at times tonight. Oh, lovely. Donata Thomas cutting across and was brought down, was he? No. Audit Hamilton, despite the fact that she has shown a red card tonight, has been pretty lenient, allowing plays to continue.
Yeah, we saw a few times on Waterhouse players didn't manhandle, as you'd say, but she allowed the game to flow.
She's been consistent.
She has been consistent.
Yep.
Whether it's totally right or not, consistency, equity is what you want.
One of the VIP boxes, I think.
That's where you're heading to when you're not on commentary, Dollar. That's where you spend most of your time.
I don't even know how to get up there.
Oh, I thought I saw you there once. Maybe they had blindfolded you and taken you there, but yeah.
Oh,
maybe it was just
most definitely.
a look-alike. Maybe just a look-alike.
Maybe a look-alike, yes. This game is just meandering along now.
And that's not what Waterhouse would want.
Donata Thomas. Jakeem Brown. Ball sent across and still in play. Blair. Lovely. Can they pull a goal back? What a save by Shaquan Davis. Denying Fletcher inside the box. From point blank range again, Davis denies Fletcher.
I don't know if he got any help from Doxley, who was there as well. But as it came across, it went back to Fletcher. Yeah, it was Davis all the way. Got past Doxley with an outstretched leg. And Davis had come up big. He did have a big save in that first leg.
He did.
With the leg as well. And again,
you know, if Devontae Campbell didn't score the 2 goals, Davis would have been right up there for player of the game in my book.
Most certainly.
Janae is in the stands as we take a look at the save from Shaquan Davis. I think she's with the mother of one Jaheim Brown.
Yes, Mommy, a while ago you just said the short corners are just not working. It is Mother's Day. I don't know how your day is so far, you can tell me.
My day is okay, even though my team is losing, but I'm good.
Okay, well, happy Mother's Day from me. We are seeing Waterhouse. They're fighting in this match. Before, you said to me that you expected Mount Pleasant to be further ahead by now, so you are proud of
it for the establishment that they have in their own academy and the team that they put together going around and getting all these good players. I expected them to be way ahead. So Waterhouse is holding their own.
Well, we must talk about your son, Jaheim Brown, and talk about his performance. Are you happy from a mommy's point of view?
I'm extremely proud of Jaheim. So this is like his 7th game because he never started out for the season. And he's doing very good. He's doing excellent.
But we must talk about Waterhouse. They are coming to the end of their season based on the results of the match so far. What can you say about their performance and the fight that they have specifically in this playoffs?
Overall, I think it's good because coming in at 6th place, I think it was good for them to fight for that 6th place and still fighting now. As a team, I watch them in practice every day and I see them working.
Waterhouse still looking for a response. And we have about 6.5 minutes to go here, plus time added on for stoppages. Oh, George Davis is in the house. The famous George Davis.
Very much in tune.
Known everywhere on this planet.
Galaxy, I dare say. Yeah, but he's here enjoying the football, and I can be presumptuous and saying enjoying because it has been a good watch.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah. You know.
2 good goals as well.
Oh yeah, that certainly. He's had a really good game, Shaquan Davis. Kenil Hyde has come on the park for Waterhouse. Thomas touches it inside. Christian spotting the run of Brown, who heels over inside the box. Yeah, it was always going to be difficult to separate Shaquan Davis and Devontae Campbell for player of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you because sometimes And I think he would have agreed with you too as well, George, who has the experience in there. But yeah, there's a lot of times that the save from a goalkeeper or defender is equal to a goal scored.
You know, Bygrave, I think, was thinking of the shot there, decided against him last minute.
Yeah. But it's been big save there, and that last one from Davis would have really made it edgy for a 10-man Mount Pleasant. So he has come up real big for them today. And the save from him counts as a lot. And then the first match, he really kept them in the tie. Booth should have given Waterhouse a 2-0 lead, and it was because of Davis. But we're going to stick to this game then and play off this game and say that if it was over the 2 legs and play off the tie, you'd probably say Davis edges it. But for play off this game, definitely Campbell, because the game had to be won, and there had to be a winner here, and it would have gone to penalties had they been locked up at the end. And Campbell unlocked his defence twice, not just once, but twice, and it finishes.
Well, here's Donata Thomas looking for a finish here. I think Davis knew he had that covered. I think he just put in the dive for.
Was very interested in that one, I can tell you.
He was.
Wide eyes as well. And this man has his interest elsewhere in short order. But yeah, went away. It was always going away from Thomas. But I felt the game had to be won. And Campbell produced 2 brilliant strikes to win it. To win against a Waterhouse team that was really good in terms of this playoff.
Dorman lofts it out wide and picked up by Fletcher. The whistle goes. Fletcher causing the infringement.
And Donald, if the case wasn't made yet, just to remind you that over 180 minutes in regular season, as we see the GenSec and President of Jamaica Football Federation in some talks there. But yeah, over the 2 legs of regular round, it was just 1 goal that separated these teams. And the first leg of this one, 1 goal apiece. It's the first time either of these 2 teams are scoring 2 goals in a game they've played this season. So for that, Campbell tips it just over Shaquan Davis.
Waterhouse still trying to get into the party here. As we take a look at the SportsMax at moment of the game, and look at this pass from Jamoy Topi, finding Devontae Campbell, and the finish from the 20-year-old was a really good one. Just lovely stuff. In the far corner he placed it, and Foster had no chance across to his right. And they were happy, and he was happy. That's a SportsMax at moment of the game.
We can watch that finish over and over again. I tell you, it's really top class. You see that it's no different than what you see week in, week out at international level. The boy really has come of age.
We're hearing that 6 minutes of stoppages will be played. They need a goal now. Thomas to Christian, trying to wiggle away from challenges, and a free kick for Waterhouse.
Desperately trying to stop Waterhouse's advances. They know it's not done, and 6 minutes is still a lot of time for 2 goals to be scored. And I know that's what they're, but no, they're just thinking about, let's get this one in the back of the net. Let's see what the remaining 5 or so minutes. And we haven't started the 6th yet. So they can get it here, a minimum of 6. He knows. So there we see confirmation from court official, not on screen, but I'm seeing from my vantage point that referee Golson has indicated 6 minutes of minimum of 6 minutes to be played. Simpson will just want to get this one in a good era for them to score.
Here's a kick that's taken, and Davis again with the save. He's a rocking goal for Mount Pleasant tonight.
Yeah, had to be saved. You'd say his positioning was good. It's straight at him, but had to be saved.
There's the corner kick. Phillips at the near post. As we take a look at the free kick again, had some power in there, but yeah, regulation stuff.
Yeah, in the end
for him. He's thinking of a shot. Wilson. Oh, he saw his name in lights there.
Almost hit the lights with that strike in the end, but you can't fault him for going for it there. Oh, he's rising in the end. So this will be the 12th time if it continues to end this way. Mount Pleasant, they have scored 2 or more and they've gone on to win it. So maybe whoever they face in the final just needs to stop them. It gets into 2 goals, although they've won by a goal to nil about 7 times this season. But they failed to score 5 times this season. They've lost 4 of those. So stopping them scoring is the big task.
Simpson. Leslie. Wilson. Christian. Challenge coming in from Bygrave. Putting in a defensive shift since he's been on the park, Bygrave. And there was trying the booming clearance, and Green committed the infringement. Has to be careful there,
yeah.
Kick the ball away.
Yeah, I was wondering if the yellow card was going to be brandished by Adet Hamilton.
I tell you, she has been lenient, and I think she's had a good game tonight.
She has. And when she has brandished the cards, they were
necessary.
Yes.
Simpson with the touch inside. Jaheim Brown trying to deliver. It's a good cross! They've got one back! Keith is Simpson! The 34-year-old gets his 2nd goal of the campaign. And Waterhouse on the edge may have a lifeline in this semi-final.
Well, Jaheim Brown was toasted by Campbell, but what a ball inside here. And Simpson on mark, Cummins behind him, just get ahead of him on the blind side. Cummins had to be dealing with a player in front of him and didn't see Hyde was there making himself a nuisance. Cummins lost sight of Simpson, who came in on the blind side like a runaway train, and he just couldn't miss from there. And for those, the neutral, who wants this one to be interesting, there you go, you have it. Like I've said, Mount Pleasant, they haven't lost when they've scored 2. Waterhouse have not won, but they've gone behind.
Dorman, they don't have a lot of time remaining. Waterhouse. But can they get the equalizer on the night and on aggregate? McCullough in the way. James will do well to hold this up, and he does. Nathaniel James, can he keep his footing? James, oh, he miskicks it. But Adet Hamilton calls back the play for the foul on Nathaniel James.
Which was playing the advantage, it didn't ensue, and that's a relief here for Mount Pleasant. They will take their time over it.
They're asking about whether he was the last defender back.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about, whether or not it should have been a red card. Let's have a look here.
No, I think it was just a coming together. Yes, there was an infringement on the play, but I think it was just a coming together.
I guess where she called it back, the play, I don't think you'd say it was the last man back because the recovering defender was there. The infringement of the foul is not being called for that final challenge. It was James who was falling over and missed kick. So the initial stage where she's calling back, I think the defender was recovering and he wasn't the last one, the one who committed.
Again, another
good call from Hamilton here.
Another good call, I think. Wilson gets a yellow card. Mount Pleasant not committing anyone forward, really. Just out wide. And they're going to try and keep it as best as they possibly can. For as long as they possibly can. Surely he's not going for goal, Daniel Green. Well, got one better, a corner kick.
Yeah, and now we're in borrowed time. And you get the feeling it's at the right end of the park for Mount Pleasant, the wrong end for Waterhouse. And the joy will be short-lived, you feel.
They'll try and keep this in play.
In the corner flag.
At the corner flag.
Yeah. 10 yards away you have to be.
That's the end of the game. The champions are in the final yet again. Devontae Campbell, the hero of the night, with 2 goals in this second leg semi-final. The academy graduate has done it. And despite Keith Simpson trying his endeavor best to make it interesting in the last 2 minutes, Waterhouse were held back by Mount Pleasant over the course of the night and on the tie. 2-1 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate for Mount Pleasant over Waterhouse, who suffer heartbreak yet again. In the 2001 semis, Waterhouse had gotten the better of Mount Pleasant on aggregate by 2-1. Mount Pleasant return the heartbreak as they seek to get back-to-back titles and be level with Waterhouse on 2 crowns in the land. Mount Pleasant go through to the final with victory over Waterhouse. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here at Sabina Park for the second leg semi-final. Mount Pleasant were pretty sloppy early in this piece, and that effort from distance was comfortable for Shaquan Davis to make the save. And then one of the best saves we saw tonight, Davis full stretch to his left, denying Javane Bryan. Ball inside looking for McCullough. The header off Bryan, and then the through ball to Demario Phillips, who hit the upright. Topi found Devontae Campbell inside the box. The turn, the shot, accurate in the far corner. First of 2 goals tonight for the 20-year-old. That was his 3rd goal of the campaign. The academy graduates doing wonderfully well tonight. And Bailey getting a foot in there. Daniel Green proven to be a nuisance, winning that one, feeding Bailey, who should have buried it. Foster was in the way, but Green worked his socks off today. He really did. Makala with the ball inside, and well, Bailey reading that one. I've had a Blair a little bit nervy at the back there. And then Devontae Campbell, just look at this. And the finish too. Neatly done by the academy graduate. Took it close to the touchline, got the better of Jaheim Brown inside the area, and then snuck in that one between Kemar Foster and the near post. Foster getting a touch, but not enough. And 2-0 on the night for Mount Pleasant with that goal. Christian. And this from Dyer, but this was even worse from Shaquille Dyer. That was insanity in a bottle. Got the red card. And then an opportunity. Blair touches it inside. Fletcher denied by Davis. The kick taken. Davis again coming up trumps. And then Brown with a delightful delivery inside to Keith Simpson, who buried it. Simpson getting his second goal of the campaign. And with just a couple minutes to go in stoppage time, Waterhouse, they felt they had a lifeline. He wasn't too optimistic though. The whistle blew shortly after. Mount Pleasant, 10 shots, 5 on target. Waterhouse with 9 shots, 4 on target. We saw 22 fouls in this game. Mount Pleasant committing more of them. And 2 yellow cards, 1 red card, which is not indicated on this graphic card. Of course, Mount Pleasant with Shaquille Dyer being sent off. 4 corner kicks each. Possession, 57% for Mount Pleasant in the end.
Yeah, and Devontae Campbell today is man of the match. Who else could it be? He had a phenomenal game. Talk us through how you're feeling after the game.
Well, I'm feeling wonderful to lead my team into the finals. But you know, it's not me alone. You know, it's a team thing. But I'm glad to put my team into the final.
And you know, so often throughout the season, you're always doing those mazy dribbles, beating a lot of players, and you're not really credited with what I think the respect that you should get because of how good you are. How does it feel now to get those 2 goals in such a big occasion?
You know, throughout the season and in training, my teammates are always telling me that, you know, you got to get the end product right, because you're beating 2-3 players at match time, but you just got to pick the pass or score the goal. So that's what I did today, and I'm so grateful. I
know last season, around this time, you got into some really good form, and you really fired Mount Pleasant into that final, and you got them over the line as well. I'm sure you're looking to repeat. Yes, I am. You know, all the great players in the world, they look forward to the big moments, and that's what I tell myself. I want the big moment to prove myself, to do great things, and show the world that I'm here and I can do great things in big moments. Well, excellent performance today, and best of luck in the final as well. All right, thanks much. Yeah, Devontae Campbell there, what a player. Has been one of the best players in the league this season and continue to prove it. Coach, it was a tough start to the game. Your team had some moments. You probably should have taken the lead as well, but it just goes to show what happens when you don't take your chances.
I mean, credit to Mount Pleasant. I mean, they do what they have to do to win. It was simple. We have to be perfect today. We weren't perfect, but we were good in most areas. I mean, as I said, unfortunately in front of the goal. We weren't clinical in front of the goal today, and I think that caused the game. The goal in adding one, so you know we'd have just learned from this moment and come again. But I mean, I can't underestimate the opponent. Secondly, the season where we have to reach thus far, I mean, it's tremendous. I'm proud of the lads.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you in terms of the effort that your team showed and how far that they have come. But just going on more so onto the game today, what do you think that your team could have done a little bit better to really get over that line and be perfect, as you said?
Just put our chance. I mean, we created enough chance to get at least 2 goals today. You know, we didn't know that if we don't make a mistake today, we could have won the game. And we should do it. We slack off 2 times in the same areas and it cost us 2 goals.
Yeah, it was the wide areas that was your undoing today. But, Coach, I think that you had a pretty good season. You said the same. So best of luck going forward and, you know, just keep on going.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Marcel Gill there. So many times some disappointment in the playoffs, but he has to be very proud of his Waterhouse team. This man has to be pretty proud of his team as well. Coach Theodore Whitmore, Coach, your team came out today. You look like a team possessed. You had a lot of tactical changes. First of all, walk us through those changes and how do you feel they impacted the game?
Well, yes, after the first leg, we would have seen some weakness in the Waterhouse team, so we made the adjustment, you know, to capitalize on it. And I thought it bear fruit for us. I think we let back the Waterhouse team in the game after Dyer's red card, but we hold on to the victory.
Yeah, I'm glad you even mentioned that red card. What are your thoughts on that incident?
Well, it's just unacceptable. Trust me, just unacceptable at a crucial time at the game. But I think the guys dealt with it well, and we move on.
Yeah, but onto the positives, you're onto yet another final. Mount Pleasant are doing great things. You have such a great squad as well. I'm sure you're feeling pretty confident going into that game, whoever you play.
Well, yes, we are in the final, so we just wait and see our opponent. But again, we go back to the Waterhouse. If you're looking in the playoff, we yet to see a Waterhouse come from a goal down or 2 goals down. So once we could get that go-ahead goal this afternoon, we know it would be difficult for the Waterhouse team.
Well, excellent performance today, Coach, for the most part, and best of luck next week as well.
Thank you very much.
Yep, it wasn't difficult for Mount Pleasant to come from behind here on the tie. Remember that Waterhouse actually went ahead in the first leg, came back to level, and of course surged ahead in the second leg. And so we have confirmed a finalist. Mount Pleasant, the defending champions, are back in the showpiece finale next Sunday at the National Stadium. Who will face them? Will it be Cavalier? Will it be Arnett Gardens? Well, that matchup is set to begin at the top of the hour. Don't you miss it right here on the home of champions.
Coach Speed, it was a really good first half, especially in the first leg by your team last week. Is a quick start integral to you getting the better of Arnett Gardens today?
Oh yeah, we're trying to start on the front foot again today.
And you know, a big reason why you were so good was how intense your press was, especially in the first 30 minutes. Did you highlight the ball playing ability of a lot of those Arnett Garden defenders as a weakness?
Yeah, well, most of them are not really defenders. Even though they actually can play the ball well, the situation is just different playing around there than playing in midfield.
And your team, you made a couple of changes in the lineup, especially in the forward line. What do you think that maybe a Thomas or a Stein can bring to your attack today?
Oh, Stein is calm, and Thomas has been our talisman in the Caribbean Cup. We just hope to rediscover that form.
And a player that you left in the starting lineup would have been Dwayne Atkinson. He has been key to a lot of your ideas over the last couple of seasons. Are you expecting a similar impact from him today?
Or better.
And coach, even so, I'm talking a lot about your attack, but your defense has been almost impenetrable over your tenure. Is that something that you really harp on? And this Arnett Gardens team have shown not to be, I won't say toothless without Fabian Reid, but are you expecting a really tough one from them today attacking wise?
Oh, yes, and if Fabian, I think Fabian's going to start, and if he doesn't, I still believe that the young boys are eager for a chance to prove themselves. I don't think there'll be any letdown in the intensity that they bring.
All right, thank you very much, coach.
You're welcome.
One second. Hold on. One.
Come on.
Coach Gilbert, it was a pretty physical first leg against Cavalier. What has the recovery been like over this past week?
I mean, it is what it is. We were prepared for it. We try as best as possible to ensure that the players are recovered and ready to go for today. It's a tedious process to manage. And a lot of times, you know, it also comes down to the trust factor, you know. A lot of times players have little English, but they want to play and they know that if I personally think that they are not 100% fit, I'm really not gonna put them out there while I have somebody who's 100% fit. So that part is a little bit tedious in terms of ensuring that you get the correct information from them. But so far, I think we have handled and managed as best as we can.
Yeah, and coach, I'm an analyst here, coach, and we know you like to talk about the tactical side of the games. I do as well. But the psychological side of the game is pretty important as well. And you have a pretty young team. What has it been like managing them to manage these big moments against these big teams?
I mean, we can do what we can do, but I mean, the test is out there in the game. And we'll never know what we do or what we say until the game. That's the real test. And we'll, as best as possible, try to prepare them on all facets of the game, psychological, mental, physical, and the tactical part of it. And we'll guide them along whenever we get a chance to talk to them, especially the younger players who have never been on this stage before. But I think for the team tonight, all of them have played in similar atmosphere before. And we hope that we can come out and execute.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome. Cool.